What's up, old school homies? Today we're going to talk about street fighter motorcycles. This has been a trend for at least 20 or 30 years, so where is it coming from? Well, I read a long article on it right now, and he basically detailed that it came from crashed motorcycles being parted together with other parts of other motorcycles, and then mods became available because if you bought an older bike that was crashed and then put newer parts on it, it would effectively be braggable as better or custom. Anybody who puts their own personal touch on something is going to say it's great. So, I guess we listened to these people putting crashed bikes together so long that we actually do have production models. That's just all there is to it. They look like what people have been building because people started building Street Fighters to be so good. You might see my comments on other people's Street Fighter builds, and I get it. There's a nice way to do it, and it's not cheap. It's more of an art form where you're trying to individualize your bike after you get a little bit farther into this whole Street Fighter thing. So the trend is to kind of be a chopper, but on a sport bike. Choppers mean you chop a whole bunch of parts off of it, and Harley Davidson's, this can be pretty extreme, like taking off the front fender and taking off the front brakes and taking off most of the rear fender and anything that you can chop off of it, chopper. This is the same mentality that we applied to sport bikes to make them look cool and create this whole new term of street fighter. So it's cool because you could buy an older bike, put some fancy new parts on it for cheap, and just be like, yeah, I picked up this salvage bike for $400, threw a $300 front end on it, and now it rides better than something that you could buy off the shelf. Because not only do you know which bikes suck and which ones don't, because everybody's already ridden these for 20, 30 years, and you're like, that one's never going to break. So you pick out that one, and then you put a new front end of some other shit on there that's nice and everybody's all into now because it's all high technology. And you really get the best of both worlds. You get this nostalgic old air-cooled engine with a new badass front end. You see, I'm giving you ideas right now on what would look cool. Now, a lot of people are trying too hard. Of course, this is what happens. People are buying new sport bikes and then taking the fairings off and taking all the intake tubes off, and then they go on the blog and then they're like, I don't know why my bike doesn't run good. I took all the parts off of it. Okay, now if you really want to be that modern about it, they make them. Okay, we make Street Fighter motorcycles. KTM has one. My neighbor's got one. He's a real old guy. He wants to look fancy and modern, and he does. He looks way more modern than I do on my 87 scooter, but that's what he wanted, and it looks like what a badass builder would have built one of those to look like, not like somebody who just took the fairings off a Gixxer they dropped on the ground and goes like, yeah, I kind of zip tied the wires where you can't see them. It's got a lot farther to where it's an art form. It's gone into custom motorcycle building, and it's copied by manufacturers, the ultimate sign of flattery.